contest engineered to give you an experience like none other,
where you put your knowledge to test
and battle it out with the best.
to bring out the best in you. Unacademy Combat is the most competitive, gamified contest for GATE till date, with the best of the questions by best educators.
with detailed video solutions from top educators right after each contest.
Combat live with peers to get real-time rankings and win big.
Participate in every contest to improve your ratings.
Challenging contests every fortnight or alternate Sunday. Live ranking after every question. Big rewards for top rankers. Your passion to crack GATE deserves this. Your hard work towards your dream deserves this. Fuel your inner fire for the ultimate GATE challenge. Unacademy Combat. Register now.
Hello friends, welcome to Unacademy, which is the largest online education platform for GATE, CS and IT. And here myself, Malisham Devasane, where I'm taking C programming classes. In this, I'm going to take today structures, unions and dynamic memory allocation. And these three topics are also important for exam, where mainly structures and dynamic memory allocation is too important. As you see, there are a lot of questions which are there in previous year GATE questions. The structures along with arrays and pointers which you require to prepare and practice. And if you are joining today, let me introduce myself in the beginning, and also some of the things that you require to know, because of we have very good plans to prepare for GATE exam. So let me talk about them. And first, today is the last class for the C programming, but I don't leave you just explaining the theory and a few questions. Tomorrow we have the session like 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. almost 6 hour session, which will cover the GATE questions along with some practice questions and just practicing new questions. So I'm going to mix both of them to have the balance. So this is what we have tomorrow. So be ready for tomorrow session 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. so that you will be having some confidence to understand the approaches that we can apply in C programs. Clear this point? Yes. So this is what I have for tomorrow, and every subject once we complete, we will have a practice session, not just practice, and we will have the 1 hour the revision on C programming also. If possible, day after tomorrow, some other day, I will take the revision on C programming too. Yes. Aparna, good morning. Aman, good morning. Gaurav, good morning. Pratik, good morning. Amjad, good morning. Lojit, good morning. Everyone, good morning. Vijayant, Himanshu. Yes, good morning. Good morning, guys. Yeah. If you forgot to like, please like the session. After my class, you have mathematics at 11:30 a.m. I hope you have attended 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and in the afternoon time, we have 2:30 p.m. computer organization by VD sir. Yeah. If you want to know about me, I work as an educator on Unacademy in GATE and ESE for CS and IT people, where I expert in TOC, compiler, C, discrete mathematics, and once in a while I take algorithms and data structures too. And if you look at my background, I have almost 12 years of teaching experience in the segment of GATE field. If you want any referral code to get discount on Unacademy, you can use my referral code DEVALIVE to get 10% discount on Unacademy. And if you don't want any referral code, that's your choice, but this will help you to get 10% discount. And if you want to know about my free classes that we take, I have taken more than 400 classes on Unacademy, which are absolutely free, like quizzes, all-in-one session, and special topics on various subjects, daily practice problems, and PYQ series of many subjects. And if you want to access them, you just need to visit www.unacademy/DevaGateCSE. Okay. If you are not aware of Unacademy Learning app, you can visit Play Store and you can search for Unacademy Learning app. You can install, you can use right away using mobile. You can access all our free classes using mobile too. Yeah. Unacademy has two mainly two subscription plans mainly, which are Plus and Iconic. Plus, again, you have many plans inside, like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, right? So what are the advantages if you are going for Plus or Iconic? Plus, you will have live interactive classes, structured courses. At the same time, top educators will form the batches. You will be accessible to all the batches, and whichever the batch you like, you can enjoy with them. And weekly test for every subject that we conduct, and doubt solving sessions every fourth day, and English and Hindi separate batches will be there. It's your choice. You want to attend English and Hindi both batches, or it's your choice. And this is what you have in Plus. Additionally, Iconic, all the benefits of Plus, you will have personal coach, separate study material, booster sessions, and separate analysis on your attempting on test, and study plan designed by experts. So all the benefits are only for Iconic, but Plus is already enough. If you know about how to prepare for exam, you don't need anybody help, and you can interact with educators and you can learn a lot. Yeah. If you want to know the plans for the Plus, just I'm talking about mainly 2 years. Here 2 years you have 39,600, which is absolutely less than anybody fees, where you have unlimited access. You can join unlimited batch, but obviously you need the guidance properly, otherwise you will be having confusion. That is why you need educator code, you need guidance from educators to understand how to prepare for GATE at the same time. So I will recommend to go for 24 months, which will help you to lot in preparation of GATE exam. And similarly, Iconic, if you choose 2 years plan, apply DEVALIVE referral code 66,600, where you are absolutely monitored every time that you attempt exam or you need any help from a educator. All the things will be taken care by separate dedicated coach. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Chakraborty. Mukesh, good morning. Yeah, Manjit, good morning. Play today. Tomorrow class is on YouTube, Imanshu. Yes, tomorrow we have the class 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Almost 6 hours, guys. 6 hours session on C programming on YouTube. Yes. Please like the session, guys. Please do that. Thank you so much. Please like the session. Fine. Good morning, Mr. Yeah, if you look at the previous sessions, we have completed tokens and statements, storage classes. You have auto, static, extern, and what else we have? Register. Arrays and pointers. We have seen, 1D, 2D, 3D, how to access the particular element address, how to find out particular element address, and how to access the elements. Pointers we have learned, single pointer, double, triple pointer. Tomorrow we will understand again in the practice. We have looked at pointer to an array and even array of pointers. And function, we have seen types of functions like user defined and predefined functions. User defined functions, how to implement. We have seen that we have 4 types of functions. Among them, if you pass the arguments, you have 2 types of passing mechanisms, call by value, call by reference. We have practiced. And recursion also we have done a little bit of practice in the previous session. Now we have these topics to complete the C programming, and don't worry much about files and those topics which I am not covering based on the importance of the GATE syllabus. Remember that. So as far as my knowledge, there was no question on files, so you can avoid preparing in C language. If you have enough time, you can do that too. So today we are going to learn C structures and unions and dynamic memory allocation. And how many of you know the structures is very important topic to understand the data structures? Yes or no? The name itself says data structure. So if you want to deal with the data, you need a structure. Yes or no? Yes. Everyone? What kind of structures you are going to deal in data structure? Like nodes, linked list, singly linked list, doubly linked list. If you want to implement stack queue, you might require the support of list, and you need trees. Trees, you need to create a node. For node also, you need to have a data, left pointer, right pointer. Yes, all of them depends on the structure declaration, guys. You should be aware of how to declare the structure and how to define them. Yes. So I'm going to help you how to create the nodes for the single linked list, double linked list trees, but you can take care of that forming the list or forming the tree in the data structure. Okay. So let's begin. And also dynamic memory allocation. And when I am going to start dynamic memory allocation, I will help you what kind of memory allocations are there. And among them, what is the difference between dynamic memory allocation with other memory allocation? And if you want to create dynamic memory allocation, what functions required in C language? So these are the things that we are going to learn today. Fine. So let's begin. Structure. What is a structure? Okay. Before that, what are the topics that I'm going to help you? How to declare a structure, how to define it, right? How to use the variables to understand the structures and nested structures and self-referential structures. So before all of them, let's start with the definition. What is a structure? Guys, what is a structure? The structures, it can be primitive or user defined. Primitive structures already we have learned, like int, char, float, double. They have the fixed structure like 2 bytes, 1 byte, 4 bytes, 8 bytes, long int. Yes or no? And it depends on the already predefined implementation. So structures are two types, primitive and user defined. So I'm talking about both. Primitive, you don't have much permission. So now I will move to the primitive to user defined. So primitive structures, you don't have any additional changes. You need to use as it is. Everybody? Now user defined structures. So I'm talking about two things here. One is the primitive structure. Other one is user defined. By default, structures we call in C user defined. Primitive structures we just call simply types, data types that are already built in. User defined we are going to implement. So you can implement the structure two ways. One is you can use already built-in types like int, char, array, pointers. Second, user defined. Everybody? Here primitive and derived also there. Great. Now what is this user defined structure? Yes, Lavjit told that when we have to store heterogeneous data, then structure required, or union also fine, but I'm going to focus on first structure. Right? It is the collection of members. These members all need not be same type. Heterogeneous, nothing but it can be different. Need not be same type. But all the members are stored contiguously. It is a collection of members stored, no doubt, contiguously, one after other only. Everyone? Contiguously, yes. Good. Good morning, Sandeep. And don't worry how much size taken by the structure. We'll talk about that. But sometimes you might be expecting 7 bytes. It may not take 7. It might take multiple of 4 or multiple of 8. So we don't worry much about it, but we have examples to practice them. Yes. Good, good. Keep answering it. So now, what is the difference between structure and array? Array is already collection of elements. How it's different from the elements? Here we call members inside the structure. In array we call elements of an array. So what is the difference between members of the structure and elements of an array? Everybody? Yeah. Structure also looks like contiguous, no doubt. Even array looks like contiguous. Look at the layouts can be similar. Yes. Now, how do they different? In structure, internally you do not know, alignments might be there. Let's say I have 3 members in a structure, but 3 members no need to be same type. If you want same type, you can do that, but no need to be. Here I can store integer. Here I can store character. If I want, again I can store integer. So you must be very careful when you are dealing with different types. Yes. This is the structure. Here also elements are stored contiguously, but with some kind of alignment support. And here array. If you want to store all must be integer. You can't store of different type. It can be characters also, but all must be characters. Here all elements of same type. All elements should be same type. You can use integers or characters, but it should be same type. Here the elements of structure is user choice. Yes, structure members can be anything as per your choice. Even it can be array also. It can be integer array also. Right? Or it can be a structure within a structure too. So much of advantage if you are using the structures. In general, structures are preferable rather than array when you do not know the types of elements that you use inside the collection. Right? Okay, let's move on to declaration. Yes, good. So remember this point. Structure is the collection of heterogeneous elements or members, and here array is the homogeneous elements. Here we call homogeneous because they must have same type. Here heterogeneous, it is same or different, it is your choice. Yes. Let's move on to how to declare a structure. You must use a keyword. It's a case sensitive. Remember, struct is a keyword and you must mention the tag, the name of the structure. Like when you say int, this is the predefined. Yes or no? You don't have a permission to change. Like you must create a name on your own, like a student, employee, date of birth, right? So you can give your own name, and here each member, it just looks like a block where you can have more number of members. Member 1 name, type member 2 name, type member 3 name, and all the members must be mentioned clearly, right? If you want any default initial value, you can also put inside. That works, but learn slowly. So I'm just trying to give an example to understand. Struct is a keyword. Struct is a keyword. Struct is a keyword, and you must mention the name of the structure, student. And let's say I want to create some ID, that college ID, let's say. And I want to have a pointer to understand a name, and maybe I want to maintain a record for the marks. Then what happens? Because of this structure, no memory created. Only we are informing the compiler, okay, I want to create a student as a different type. And you understand, I'm going to use this type in future to declare the variables. Right? So far, no memory created. We informed to the compiler, I am going to use a struct student type. Now in future, the struct student is user defined. Whenever you want the variable for this student, you must use the word struct student, because we defined, we are informing to the compiler, I have a structure which have declared with the name of the student. Go to the declaration and use my notations. Yes, Shivakumar, you can. It's all choices. It depends on your knowledge. Yes. Everybody? Clear? Struct student. It's just a type name. Like integer, we have a new user defined type. Now this is called as user defined type, and this is a predefined type. Everyone understood the difference between struct student and int? For int, no memory created. When we declare a variable, then memory will be created for that. Yes. Let's move on to how to declare a variable. So this is just informing to compiler. This is just structure declaration, not a variable declaration. This is called as structure declaration. Here variable is not declared. It just informs the compiler to know about the types. Fine. Now structure variable declaration. Now I have an example. Look at that. Student is the type, user defined type, tag it is called as, and we have 3 members, and this S, what is this S? It is a structure variable. What is it? Structure variable. What happens when you do this? The memory will be created for this structure. Everyone? And you can also do other way. You can separate the structure declaration and variable declaration too. You can see here, this is the structure declaration to inform the compiler, and this is the variable declaration. If you don't want to keep along with structure declaration, you can also separate it. And there are 2 ways here. There are 2 ways. You can also keep, this is the variable structure variable. You can separate structure variable declaration along with separated by structure declaration. Yes. Yeah. Today is the last lecture for C programming. Yeah, पहली बार आता है और बहुत dangerous question पूछते हैं यार. Okay, clear this point? Sir, हर क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना पड़ता दुनिया में. Alright. तो structure, we have a declaration, and that is not enough to create a memory. We need a variable to declare. Variable can be pointer, variable can be simple structure variable, or variable can be array of structures. It is your choice, guys. Now what happens when you do this? Inside the system, you will have a memory in RAM, you will have a memory for S, and it has 3 members, like just looks like an array. You have S name, and you will have ID, you will have marks. Tentatively, internally alignments may be there. I'm trying to talk about if the system doesn't use extra memory for the structure. Here you will be having 60 bytes, integer either 2 or 4 bytes, depends on system, and float will be 4 bytes. And the name of the structure is S. Now the student is not the name of the structure variable, remember, right? Yeah. Clear? This is how internally. Now how to access the members of the structure, guys? How to access them? Now you need to use the notation like S dot ID is equal to 10. This is how dot is used to refer the structure members, to access structure members. That's why we call structure member operator. Structure member operator. Dot is used to access the structure member or union member, right? Clear this point, guys? Yes, S dot S name. Student dot S name is not used. Clear? And now we have some problems. What kind of problems we may face? I'll tell you. Suppose you are writing struct. You did not give a name. Directly you went to int ID and directly you said S. What is the disadvantage of writing this, guys? In future, for this structure, no more variable you can create. It just, you have to use s.id, that's all. There is no more structure variable you can create for this. But when you write struct student, suppose you are writing int id, then I can write as many as variables because using struct student. I can write S1, S2, as many as I want, I can create. See here, it's not possible. It is not possible to create because you have not given a tag. It is not possible to create additional structure variables. The structure variables must be along with the declaration of the structure, guys. Here, advantage is you can use a struct student because of I have given the name for that structure. So that name I can use to declare any number of variables. This is really helpful to declare many structure variables. Clear this point? Yes, good. The first point, understand guys, how to use the structure tags, structure names. If you don't use it, it works, but you must give the variable along with the declaration. So in future, only I can use here S is the variable, no more S1, S2, S3. But here in the second one, the advantage is I can create as many as variables using the struct student. Yes, good. Everybody understood this one? Yes. Which is the best? First or second? Second notation is always best. Right. And also remember, this declaration can be anywhere in the program, but anywhere in program, either global section or anywhere in the program. It is your choice. If you don't want to show to any other functions, you can write within the function. If you want to show to all functions, then write in the global section. And wherever you want, you can use this one. This one you can use wherever you want. If I want to use only within the function, you can declare struct student S1, S2, S3 in the function, in the block itself. So have a clarity. You can always, the people keeps this struct student in the global if you want to show to the entire program. And even it can be accessible to every function. Yes. Let's move on to linked list. Now we have some clarity about structure. Okay, if I have a structure, I can create my own data structure, right? If I have, now I'm going to help you create two nodes and form a single linked list. Suppose this is what I want to implement in data structure. So how do you do that? Using C programming knowledge. Yes or no? Now this is what my idea is. I have to create two nodes like this. One node, two fields. Look at this. Two nodes, do they have the same structure or not? That means two variables you require to create. Or same variable you can make a loop 2 times. It is your choice. Clear this point? Now what I want to do here, this is an address field. It should point to this one. And this address field, it's null. I don't have to point anyone. And maybe I want to give the name to the head, to this initial node as head. Is my choice. So what I do, first I need to create a structure like, okay, this is, let's say, data. The field, first field is data. Second field is, let's say, next. So how do you create this structure first? That is too important here. Like struct, I want to create SLL, single linked list node. And the first field, let's say, I'm storing integer data. Then int data. If it is a character, char data. And this one is very important. I am going to talk about in future. Self-referential means I'm gonna point to the same type of node again. So what we do, struct SLL node star next. What happens here? You are going to point to the same type of structure. This is called as, yes, self-referential structure. We are pointing one of the member to the same type of structure. Yes or no? Yes. Everybody? And now I need to create two variables. This will talk about how a structure is to be, how a structure should be. We have two nodes which are having same structure. So we have this second. First I need to create like, struct. First I will create head. Head I will create. And what I have to assign, let's say I want to keep the values like, 10, 20. Then how do you write it? Head dot the data is equal to 10. And right now head dot next not required because initially you can keep null if you want. Right? I don't have anything, so I can keep null. That's a good choice all the time. So let's keep null initially. Now what I do is I will create another node. Let's say temp. Struct SLL node. Now I want temp. This temp is the second node. What I have to store in the temp date dot data is equal to 20. Now we have to do one thing. What is that? Head dot next. In that you need to keep the address of this one. Let's say this is a 2000. Then you have to write here 2000. So how do you do that? 2000 nothing but temp or address of temp. Both are same here. It's a temp is enough. And temp to dot next keep a null. I forgot to do that. Keep that. Then this will be created, guys. So in data structure, this struct is going to help you implement the data structures. Everybody, singly linked list, doubly linked list, and tree node, right? Yes, you might want to create your own structure. Still, this is important. Like to implement B tree, B plus tree, ABL tree, heap tree, and might be required these structures. Okay, let's move on to understand many things. Now I want to create just to represent SLL node. You understood? This is a node. Here you have a data field and next field. Next is a pointer to somebody of the same type. Yes, DLL node, doubly linked list node. How do you create, guys? If you have learned the data field, one is the previous pointer, other one is the next pointer. So only here what is going to change? Look at that. Struct, you have SLL node, int data, that's data, but additionally you need extra space to maintain the address of the next node. So that is struct SLL node star next. And many people, what do they do by default? They keep a null. Why? Because when they create, they want to keep the null to avoid the confusion of the next pointer. Yes. So this is how we do declaration of a structure. Nothing happens except you are informing to the compiler, okay, I am just having two members in a node. Good morning, Nikhil. And here, how do you create? Struct, let's say DLL node. In this, you have three things total. Exactly, I want the same structure. Then you have to keep struct DLL node star. One is the previous, and in the middle I want to keep the data. Let's keep it. And another pointer is to the next. The previous and next are two pointers to the structures. Yes, everybody. And tree node is similar to the DLL, doubly linked list, is exactly follows the tree node, also similar to DLL node. Is exactly same. You will have left pointer, right pointer, and then data. If it is binary tree, if it is not binary tree, you must use many pointers too. Fine. Clear, everybody, how the structures are going to help you? Put a semicolon at the end. Don't forget that. Yes, if I forget, please keep them. Yes, I kept it. Now let's look at previous gate question, guys. Let's look at previous gate question. And union is not yet discussed. So let me discuss first union, then I'll come back to this. But I will explain first, then I will discuss the definition next. Fine, that's also fine. Now look at, you have union here. You have union. And you have a structure. What is the difference between structure and union, guys? What is the difference between structure and union? If I have three members in a structure, what is the difference between structure and union? Quick. What is the difference? Every member will have different memory. But union, all members will try to occupy same memory. will have same memory. They do not store in different memories. Yes, clear? This is the main difference between structure and union. But when all members are storing at same place, then what should be the size of the union? So look at here. They are all clearly mentioned everything. Short is 2 bytes, means how many bytes required here? 10 bytes. And float y. Why? Because of you declared a variable, so float requires 4 bytes. And long is given to you. You just follow them, 8 bytes. But as you know, this is the union. And 4 bytes, 8 bytes will not be different. Same location will be used for both. So we are going to use the maximum of 4, 8. So 8 bytes will be created for the union U. So U has 8 bytes now. Yes, highest member size will be taken for entire union. Yes, U will take 8 bytes. Now T. Now this is the complete T. For T, you will have 10 plus 8, which will be 18 bytes. So they are trying to ask the memory requirement for variable T. Anyhow, U is inside T, so we will talk about T only. How much required for T? 18 bytes. Ignoring alignment considerations. What is alignment, guys? In actual structures, what happens is the 10 bytes will not be there. The nearest multiple of 4 or multiple of 8 will be taken, like 12 or 16. It depends on your system. So multiple of 4 or multiple of 8 will be taken as a member size. Even though it is actually 10 bytes, in practically what happens, it could be 12 plus 8, 20. So alignments we are ignoring, so answer is 18 bytes. So in the exam, you will have a clarity. Is it alignment there or not? If alignment is not there, no need to understand multiple of 4 concept. Everybody, what is a multiple of 4? Here the 10 is, look at the 10 is not a multiple of 4. So what happens inside the structure? Every member, it is trying to, when you create an array, this is going to happen when you deal with characters. So what happens? It will try to make nearest multiple of 4 or 8. So nearest is after 10, 12 or 16. Nearest to multiple of 4 is 12 and multiple of 8 is going to be 16. So either 12 or 16 bytes will be taken for that first member. Yes. So try to understand why did they use this word. Alignment consideration is very important in the structure. But they ignored it. So don't worry about extra space taken by the system. Yes. Yes. Please like the session. Always, this is very important for us. We keep on saying it. If anybody not liked, please like the session. Thank you so much for caring us. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll come to that. Now look at what we have. Now look at, this is our declaration now. Struct node. It is additional other statement. We have a declaration and declaration of a variable, declaration of a structure, declaration of variable. And what is this star s of 10? Did you remember that in array of pointers? Int star a of 10. What is it means? It is a is array of integer pointers. Yes or no? Integer pointers. So each element of an array is going to have an address of an integer. Similarly, what's gonna happen here? We will have 10 structures. Just like it's an array, it's array, no doubt. It's array. What happens here? 0, 1 till 9. It is array. You have to say S is an array. Remember. But what do you have? Here address of not an integer. It's address of structure. If you know any structure address, you can refer that from here. Address of structure. So how to speak that? Array of structure pointers, you can say that, or array of 5 or 10 pointers which are pointing to structures. Which one is going to match? Anybody? Yeah, it is an array. Exactly correct. It's wrong. Structure of 2 fields, 3 fields wrong. It is an array. Yes, it looks like A or D. Each element of this structure is a pointer to a structure of type node. Exactly. Right? And another one, each element of which is structure of type node. What is the difference between A and D? D is definitely correct. You have answered it. Then if the D is an answer, what could be the declaration of the variable? If you want to make the D is the right answer, how do you do that, guys? Struct node. Anybody guess? Anybody guess? Yes of 10. Then that option D is the right. Clear? If you want to say option D is the right, then definitely the star you have to delete in the declaration. Clear? Yes, good. So exactly this one chooses option A. Understood everyone how to deal with array of structures? This is called as array of structures. 10 structures are stored contiguously. Array of structures of type node. Yes. Now let's look at the previous gate question. Just I deleted 2 statements, 2 printfs, but it's almost the gate. Let's see who will answer now. How difficult. Structure, arrays, pointers, all of them are covered in the same concept. Structure, array, pointers, 3 concepts are there here, including increment, decrement operations. Great, great. And please like the session if you have not done. So I will be giving you 2 minutes to understand the structure. 2 minutes. Yeah, please read the structure, at least read the question at least, so that I will explain. Come on guys, quick. Anyone? Yeah. Please keep doing it. Okay, meanwhile I will create my own notations. How many of you detected there are this is one structure, second structure, third structure and fourth structure, fifth. So array of 5 structures. Array of 5 structures are there here. Yes. So ST is here. ST. What is ST here? Array of 5 structures. Instead of creating 5 different structure variables, you have created an array where you are going to store 5 structures. Exactly. Test is a structure type. Yes. Now you have a P. P is a pointer to the structure. What is a P here? P is a pointer to a structure. You can point to any structure as per your requirement, like point to an integer we have done many times. Okay. Now you need to understand individual statements, how to treat. Before execution, this is the most important one. What is P plus plus arrow C? How to understand this? Who has more precedence? Arrow or plus plus? Who is having more precedence? In C language or C++ doesn't matter whether you keep a post increment either less or equal precedence to the arrow. Doesn't matter because increment will happen later. So anyhow, here what happens here? The first one you need to consider P arrow C. The second one P is equal P plus 1. Clear? The meaning of P plus plus arrow C. Remember, you need to do two things. What are they? First, you need to write a printf. Printf percentile S P arrow C. But you have to increment immediately P is equal P plus 1. And what about the second one? What about the second one? That is star plus plus P arrow C. इसको कैसे समझना है ना? पहले समझ लो, प्रोग्राम तो बाद में एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं. And what? There are three operators. Which one you should consider highest precedence? Which one, guys? Pre-increment and star will have less precedence than arrow. Right? In the precedence table, that structure reference operator is structure member reference operator will have highest precedence. You know that. So first we are going to consider, this is actually called as like P arrow C, then plus plus star. You have to understand. It means the first line you need to increment. You know that. Now it's going to happen like this. So what is that? First you need to execute P arrow C is equal to P arrow C plus 1. Then second one you will get an access to star P arrow C. Everybody got this point? Look at how carefully you should understand right to left exactly. Clear? Now इसको समझना आपको कैसे? First you need to do P arrow C is equal to P arrow C plus 1. पहले इसको करना पड़ेगा. उसके बाद आपको printf का काम चलेगा. कैसे? Percentile C comma star P arrow C. This is the meaning of the code. So जिसको समझ में आता है ये कोड उनको आंसर सही से आएगा. Clear? I have clearly mentioned both the statements, how to understand, both the expressions, how to understand. Anybody has a doubt in the first one and second one? If no doubt, then we can start execution. If no doubt, then we can start execution. Okay, let me start. अब तक तो स्टार्ट ही नहीं हुआ यार. अब तक सिर्फ मैं बता रहा था कि इसको कैसे समझना कोड को. Okay, I have something like, okay. Total we have 5 structures. Okay, 5 structures. Good, good. And we have one pointer P. P is a pointer. Okay, we have now P and ST. ST is a structure. And ST has index like, 0, 1, 2, 3 and you know that. Now P is going to point to the first element of an array, you know that. But here inside you have two things. One is the 5. Other is a pointer to the become. And other one is the 4. There is a pointer that point to better. There are two members, 6. Other member is pointing to jungle. And 8. Understood the structure? Yeah, 7. And one pointer is pointing to brother. Everybody understood how to deal with the array of structures? Yes. Now, look at the execution one by one. ये तो बता दिया, ये भी बता दिया. और P is equal P plus 1. ये P is equal P plus 1 कहाँ जाएगा? Integer बढ़ेगा, structure बढ़ेगा. P is of structure type, pointed to structure. तो ये structure बढ़ेगा guys. It's going to increment the structure. It increments, it points to the next structure now. It points to the next structure. Next structure, not next integer. Remember that. It's not the integer pointer. Yeah. Clear? Yeah. Now, plus plus P arrow C. Plus plus P arrow C. Yeah. So Qt status has a doubt. Sir, I didn't able to understand the crash course. The crash course is for only those people who are able to understand quickly. you want to understand, definitely we recommend to come for the plus or iconic. Then definitely there we don't complete the course in 5 days. We complete in 50 days or 30 days. Then we go slowly, each and every point we will discuss in detail. You will have a practice and then you will understand, right? No need to ask, just join blindly the plus or iconic. We are there to help you all the time. And now ये क्या, ये तो किया नहीं बिल्कुल, अब तक तो समझ ही नहीं लिया. तो प्लस प्लस पी एरो सी, इसको कैसे समझना, अब तक तो स्टार्ट ही नहीं किया इसको. एंड दिस इज अगेन इट सेम एज पी एरो सी प्लस प्लस, इसका क्या करना पड़ेगा, पी एरो सी इज इक्वल पी एरो सी प्लस 1. एवरीबॉडी, इसका मीनिंग क्या होता, पी एरो सी को बढ़ाना, पी एरो सी मतलब एक्चुअली लुक एट हियर यू हैव टू वेरिएबल्स, हियर दिस इज आई, दिस इज सी. इनिशियली सी कहां पर पॉइंट कर रहा था, एक्चुअली इट्स अ पॉइंट इनटू द फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर. इवन नॉट ओनली दिस, ये हर पॉइंटर वही तो पॉइंट कर रहा है, पॉइंट इनटू द फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर, बिकॉज इट्स गोइंग टू स्टोर द एड्रेस ऑफ द फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर. एवरीबॉडी, in all of them what's happening there, the pointer pointing to the first character by default. Clear everybody? तो अब क्या होगा, p arrow c मतलब ये जो एड्रेस है ना यहां पर, ये इंक्रीमेंट होगा. सो दिस विल पॉइंट टू e now. Assume previously it is 100 address, now it is going to be 101. Clear? Now p arrow c बढ़ा दिया. अब p arrow c से स्ट्रिंग प्रिंट करना, क्या होता, p arrow c से स्ट्रिंग, p arrow c से स्ट्रिंग ETTER. एवरीबॉडी, एरो किस लिए, बिकॉज ऑफ p is a pointer type. p is a pointer type. How many of you know p arrow c means what? It's actually star p dot c, because p is pointer to a structure. पहले इस पॉइंटर को डी रिफरेंस करना पड़ेगा आपको. एवरीबॉडी, इट्स इज इट क्लियर एवरीबॉडी, पॉइंटर को डी रिफरेंस करना पड़ता. एवरीबॉडी, इट्स सी इज द पॉइंटर, डजंट मैटर, सी के लिए अलग होगा, सी के लिए अलग होगा. सी चाहिए आपको, एक दूसरा स्टार लगाना पड़ेगा इसे, इफ यू वांट टू प्रिंट द कैरेक्टर. एवरीबॉडी क्लियर? Yes, the arrow, because of it's not a C. Sanjeev, you are going wrong. It's not because of C is the pointer, it's because of P is the pointer. It's because of P is the pointer. Remember guys, a small example to deal with this. A small example, those people who are not good at this. Struct student. ऐसे कोई एग्जाम्पल है, कैरेक्टर ही ले लेते सीधा. वेट गाइस, कैरेक्टर ले लेते हैं. यहाँ पर एक कैर ch, यू हैव a एंड यू हैव अ कैरेक्टर पॉइंटर, लेट्स से स्टार p, एंड यहाँ पर एड्रेस कर सकता हूँ बट लेकिन नहीं कर रहा हूँ. सो सिर्फ स्टार p को कैसे हैंडल करें ये देख लेते पहले. लेट्स ट्राई, वन इज a, अदर इज स्टार b. ये p को कैसे हैंडल करें, अगर चाहे तो वो भी ले लेना, कैर c को. देखो, एक मेंबर कैरेक्टर वेरिएबल, एक मेंबर कैरेक्टर पॉइंटर वेरिएबल, एक स्ट्रक्चर नॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर वेरिएबल, दूसरा स्ट्रक्चर है पॉइंटर टू स्ट्रक्चर. सो इसको कैसे हैंडल करें एवरीबॉडी, इसको कैसे हैंडल करें. तो इफ यू वांट टू डील विथ, लुक एट हियर, a डॉट c एंड a डॉट p एंड स्टार बोलते हैं हम. क्लियर? ये डॉट पी, उसका स्टार निकलना पड़ेगा. इसको लिख सकते हैं, ए डॉट सी इज लेट से ए एंड ए डॉट पी स्टार. तो एड्रेस नहीं है ना, पहले एड्रेस को असाइन करना पड़ता. तो कैसे करेंगे एड्रेस, ऐसे ए डॉट पी इज इक्वल टू, यू कैन डू दैट, एड्रेस ऑफ ए डॉट सी, दैट्स फाइन, दैट्स फाइन. अगर आपको अभी चेंज करना है ए डॉट सी को, यू कैन डू दैट, ए डॉट पी इज इक्वल बी. तो क्या होता, जो पहले सी में क्या था, ए था, अब बी हो गया. क्लियर? ये ए से हैंडल करें. और बी से कैसे, अब बी एरो सी करेंगे हम. एरो सी, पहले इससे पहले बी को तो असाइन करो, बी तो पॉइंटर है, बी के अंदर ए डालो पहले, एड्रेस ऑफ ए, एड्रेस ऑफ ए, ये डाल दो, एड्रेस ऑफ ए, दोनों सेम है। तो क्या हुआ, बी इज पॉइंटिंग टू द स्ट्रक्चर। तो एक बार बताता हूं इसको कैसे हैंडल कर रहा है। तो एक विजुअलाइज करना पड़ेगा आपको, यू हैव टू विजुअलाइज ऑन योर ओन। तो ए स्ट्रक्चर है गाइस, सिर्फ पी के लिए, ए के लिए मेमोरी क्रिएट होगा, ए के लिए, एंड यहां पर एक सी है, यहां पर एक पी है। सो व्हाट वी हैव डन, वी स्टोर द एड्रेस ऑफ ए डॉट सी, मतलब दिस इज पॉइंटिंग टू दिस वन। पहले ए था, बी कर दिया उसको। नाउ बी इज इक्वल ए, मतलब बी इज ए पॉइंटर, इट्स पॉइंटिंग टू दिस वन। नाउ what are you trying to do, what are you trying to do? Now look at a arrow c is equal to, अगर मुझे बोलना है तो मुझे c चाहिए, तो b also cancelled and c will be stored. अब p को एक्सेस करना, a arrow p is equal to, कुछ और एड्रेस है आपके पास, असाइन कर सकते हैं। अगर इसी को चेंज करना है, स्टार इज इक्वल टू डी, और डी होगा ए सी। क्लियर हाउ टू डील विथ टू थिंग्स गाइस, स्ट्रक्चर का मेंबर भी पॉइंटर हो सकता और स्ट्रक्चर इटसेल्फ पॉइंटर हो सकता, पॉइंटर टू ए स्ट्रक्चर। तो दोनों को हैंडल करना बहुत जरूरत है। अब जो बोल रहा था ना, सॉरी ये बी है, सॉरी थोड़ा दिमाग खराब है, तो बी एरो था, बी के लिए बात कर रहा था ना, बी के लिए बात कर रहा था ना, ये यूज किया, अब सॉरी, बी इज द पॉइंटर टू ए स्ट्रक्चर, बी बी। एवरीबॉडी, हाउ टू डील विथ ए पॉइंटर, हाउ टू डील विथ स्ट्रक्चर पॉइंटर। जो एरो लगा रहा है वो स्ट्रक्चर पॉइंटर के लिए, मेंबर के लिए नहीं। मेंबर इज, वी आर ऑलवेज यूजिंग डॉट ओनली, बट बी एरो सी ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज, बी एरो सी ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज स्टार बी डॉट सी। यू कैन राइट अनदर वे। एवरीवन, यस क्लियर? जस्ट इसको एक दोबारा चेक कर लेना मैं क्या किया यहां पर, व्हाट आई हैव डन फॉर यू, राइट, टू अवॉइड द कंफ्यूजन। अब इसको समझ लेते हैं, जल्दी समझ लेते हैं। एवरीबॉडी क्लियर? आउटपुट क्या आएगा यहां पर, एटर, बिकॉज यू नीड टू प्रिंट द स्ट्रिंग, राइट? दिस इज द फर्स्ट आउटपुट, एंड p इज इक्वल p प्लस 1। ये कहा जाएगा गाइस, p इज इक्वल p प्लस 1। अब कहा जाएगा p इज इक्वल p प्लस 1, ये नेक्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर में जाएगा। कहां पर जाएगा, ये अभी इस स्ट्रक्चर में जाएगा गाइस। p इज इक्वल p प्लस 1, बिकॉज p को बढ़ाएंगे ना, हो गया ये भी। और नेक्स्ट प्रिंटफ में चलते हैं। ये पहले p एरो c को बढ़ा रहा है, p एरो c को बढ़ा रहा है, p एरो c को बढ़ा रहा है, ये बढ़ेगा, u पर जाएगा अभी। एवरीवन, बिकॉज एरो बदल गए ना, एरो बदल गए ना, नेक्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर में j से u पर जाएगा। j से अज्यूम कर लेना 200 पहले था, 201 अभी, तो इससे पहले 200 था, अभी 201, नाउ 201। नाउ आपको कैरेक्टर प्रिंट करना। अब देखो कैसे चल रहा है काम, p एरो c तो 201 है, तो इसको ऐसे एग्जीक्यूट होगा, स्टार p एरो c। देखा स्टार बाहर आया, p एरो c मेंबर के लिए है ना। तो अब u का एड्रेस दिया और स्टार u, डी रेफरेंस एट 201, तो ये आएगा u। सो यहां आउटपुट प्रिंट होगा, u प्रिंट होगा, ये सेकंड आउटपुट है। ये कैरेक्टर प्रिंट करना है हमको, क्लियर? तो अभी आउटपुट क्या दिख गया आपको, वन इज एटर एंड अनदर वन इज u, क्लियर? देयर आर टू प्रिंट्स, come on, u is the output, yes, clear? This was the previous year gate question guys. There were two other prints I have not taken, but tomorrow we will practice that again, so be ready for that. Just look once and we will get the same question again. There are two more prints which were asked in the previous year gate question. We will solve that too tomorrow. Yes, great. Now this is also previous year gate question. Yeah, I will give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Let's look at who will answer this question. Great. You have 2 minutes of time. Okay, tomorrow, not today. Those people who join late, tomorrow 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. YouTube session. Completely practice GATE PYQs and new questions together. Zero C. Who else? The first output came as 0C. Any other? Great, great. Yeah, who was that? Everyone. Till 12 AM निखिल. सोना है तो सो जाओ क्लास में. Okay, how much time you need? More. 0 CS Pratik. Lovjit, right? Now we have a PE's structure. What it has? 3 members. So I'm just keeping here 3 members. Inside we have 3 members, right? 3 characters. That's a P and another one Q. We have Q and we have P. P which is storing 1, 0, A plus 2. What is A plus 2 guys? It is C. So it's going to store the C. All are characters. Yes, all are characters. Equivalent ASCII value will be stored, but I am showing as a character. Fine. Now Q is pointing to the P. Means indirectly pointing to the first member of this structure, no doubt. Now, you know, they are, if I assume, let's say the 1000 is address of P, then the first member is 1000, next member is 1001, next member is 1002, because 3 characters are stored contiguously, right? Everybody, the one member by member will be stored. Now, what is happening here? Q is actually not a structure, not a character type. What type? The char star P is different, guys. Char star P is different. Struct our node star P star Q, star Q, star Q, star Q. Both are different, yes or no? Yes or no? Q of the structure type, Q of the character type, are they different or not? But you know, here Q is which type? Q is a pointer to a structure. But you can do explicit typecasting to deal with pointer to a character. Everybody? Yes, this is the beauty of the pointers, guys. You can do explicit typecasting to deal with any kind of a pointer, to consider as any kind of pointer. Now look at Q is actually address. So you have taken an address. That's a 1000. Now that 1000 you convert it to the character. So now logically it assumes it's a pointing to this one. P is not pointing. We are pointing. So now this will become character address. Previously structure address. Now it is a character address. Now plus 1. Plus 1 means what? Come on guys. Plus 1 means what? The 1000. 1000 plus 1. If you don't do the typecasting, it will go to the next structure. But next structure to nahi hai yahan par. 1000 plus 1 is a 1001 now. Because you converted to the character address. Now star of that 1000 plus 1. What happens star of 1001? Which will be 0. So the first one will print 0. And next one guys. Again same. Q is not incremented. That was Q plus 1. Not Q is equal to Q plus 1. Again 1000. Now it is 1000 plus 2. Which will be 1002. And which will be C. Yes. So 0 comma C is an output. Yes. Yes. Everybody, its output is, this was also previous gate question, output is 0 comma C. Great, great. Keep moving guys. I think, we'll bring this question tomorrow because we need to cover dynamic memory allocation too. So I'm going to take care of this question tomorrow in practice session. Don't worry right now. So everybody clear about the structure? Now let me talk about quickly nested structure. If you want to take homework, you can do assignment. You can post your answer in the comment. I will discuss that later on. Okay, you can just take the screenshot later on once you come to this video. Now, this is nested structure. What is nested structure, guys? You have here a structure. Can you see that? Whole structure is declared inside the structure. Did you see that? This is called as structure within a structure. This is called as structure within a structure. What happens? Internally, what happens, guys? S is a structure. This is S internally. And ID, you have one member. ID is a one member. And name is an array. And there is another structure here. Only have used one variable, so one structure. If you create more variables for the structure, doj1, doj2, then there will be more members too. More members of S. Remember. So here you have three fields, dd, and year. And you see that S is the structure here. This is the doj. And everybody has a name. This is ID. This is the name. So how do you refer? Now, if you want to store something like that, s.id, s.name, but how do you refer the members of date to? There is a dd, and y. How do you refer them? You have to refer s.doj.dd, s.doj.mm. You can go any number of levels similar to. I am using only 2 levels. Yes. Clear, everyone? Great. A structure within a structure is called as nested structure. Great. Everybody understood? Now I can assign anything that I like it. Like one, name, I can, of course, name you need to write a loop or something like a string function for that. And date, I can use 12, month, I can use 02, and year I can choose 2014. Okay, similar to that. Similar to normal structure you can access. Okay, next, self-referential we have seen already, right? Self-referential we have seen already, right? Yeah, we have already seen this example using single linked list. Okay, now you can see that the same structure you are referring because it's a pointer. It's a pointer to a structure. It's a pointer to the same structure. But you need to tell there are so many structure variables for the same structure type. So you need to tell exactly which structure you need to point. Okay, union. Now, I told you union, right? So union similarly will have a tag name and you will have a variable declaration u. Now memory will be created for you, but how much? First you need to identify. So assume some of them. Integer, assume 2 bytes. The remaining you know how to assume. Okay, now this will be 2 bytes. It can be 4 in some systems. This is the 40 bytes. And float is the 4 bytes. Now overall, if I ask what is the size of u? Size of u. So how much it is size of u? That is a 40 bytes, which is the maximum of all the members. Maximum of sizes. Maximum size of all. Yes. And also remember, you can't use all the 3 members simultaneously. If you use it, you will not understand, because the recent one that you stored, you will get a meaning to that because you are trying to access one of them all the time. Yeah. Okay, before going to the dynamic memory allocation, guys, if anybody is preparing seriously for 2020-2023, this batch especially for 2021, that is the reason we started the crash course to help you to understand within 5 days. If you can't understand in 5 days, maybe you require to prepare for 2022. It's not possible to complete in 2021. Everybody, and this batch is specially for 2021 who wanted to complete a revision or learn very quickly, then this batch is going to help you. Everybody, so we are launching the first batch for 2022 and 2023. That is 1 year batch. It is, you can get a subscription with the help of DEVALIVE referral code, and this batch is going to be very special, which is in the batch, and the batch tentatively is going to begin from 25th Jan. Our dates exactly we are going to announce soon, and be ready for that. You can take the subscription, you can start approaching us. Okay, now how to join this? Visit unacademy.com, choose the goal GATE and ESE. Before that, login, and then you have immediately button get subscription. Choose plus or iconic, then use my referral code DEVALIVE, and then make the payment, then you will be subscribed. Fine. Come on, come on. Next one, dynamic memory allocation. As I said, memory allocations, guys. Memory allocations are many types. Memory allocations are many types. If you study in operating system, you will understand one is the static memory allocation. Other one, stack memory allocation, and heap memory allocation. Stack and heap both are dynamic, but for user only heap is dynamic, and these two are basically dynamic. These two are dynamic, but among them this is user. There is a system dynamic and user dynamic. Stack memory allocation, the system automatically allocates and deallocates. Heap memory allocation, we ask the system to allocate and deallocate. Okay, this is user specific. This is the internal to the system. The system specific. Depends on the program control, it's going to create and destroy the memories. And static memory allocation, basically we do for two things. You know, code region and data region, both will be static memory allocation because sizes are known. Sizes are known. Stack memory allocation basically for function. When you have a function like activation record, activation records you can keep on the stack. When you have a recursion, you can take the help of them. Not only that, you need auto variables. They will be created within the activation record on the stack itself. And not only auto variables, all temporary calculation basically happens on the stack. And heap memory allocation, you must use some specific functions like malloc. These functions will help you. calloc and realloc and free. These functions will help you to deal with heap memory, guys. Everybody, so in a system we have three types of memory allocations. Static memory allocation happens when you know the size of particular thing like code and data. The data region and code region are going to be stored or known before execution what are their sizes, and their sizes never be changing while executing the program. But stack and heap memory is going to grow automatically and shrink automatically based on your instructions. Exactly. Fine. Now let's come to the point. Dynamic memory allocation is going to help you in C language. These four functions helps the user to create explicit using instructions, explicit memory allocation and deallocation. Allocation and deallocation on heap region. So you can say that this is the heap memory we are going to managing. So this is going to help you to manage heap memory. Clear? If you want to create or delete a memory inside the heap region, you need the support of these four functions. These four functions are available in stdlib.h. This is a header file where you require to access this allocation and deallocation functions. This is a header file. And there are many header files. You might know that, if you have studied like stdio.h, one header file, and stdlib.h is another header file, even string.h is another header file, and like that even math.h is another header file. So many header files like this. Everyone? Yes. So now we'll understand one by one very quickly. And what is malloc? What is malloc? How to deal with this malloc function? Okay, that's others. Some question came to that. What is the maximum allocation in stack region? Heap region is unknown. The size of heap region depends on availability of RAM space. Depends on availability of RAM space. That is decided by OS. How long? So user doesn't know how long, but stack memory size is just like 64 MB or 16 MB. Size is pre-defined by the operating system, pre-decided. Mostly in some of them, like 64 MB, 16 MB, something like that. It's going to be a fixed. And size of the stack, it depends on the operating system, how much stack size is given to the. If you keep on increasing the RAM size, the sizes may be varied. Yes. Great. Thank you so much for liking the session, guys. Please like this session. Thank you so much. Fine. Now, the malloc function, every function, it has a return type, right? So this is basically void type. You can typecast to anybody, doesn't matter. You can typecast to anybody, guys. You can typecast to integer address, you can typecast to character, you can typecast, that depends on what P is, right? As depends on P, you can typecast, we can do typecasting, the address. We can do typecasting the address to any type. So here you can write like, P is equal to int star. You can do that. Okay, I will talk about this later on. This we will talk about later on. I can say Q is equal to char star. Why is that, guys? Because I might be dealing with integer data or character data or float data. It's my choice what kind of it. Otherwise, don't do typecasting. Whenever you want to access, you can take the typecasting. Everybody? Yeah. Here, if you are doing this, then you must declare int star P. Then it is allowed. Here you have to use char star Q. Then it is good choice. And here float star R. So typecasting depends on what kind of pointer you deal with that. Everybody? Everybody? Yeah, you can ask the question immediately, right? When I move to another topic, why are you wasting my time and your time? You already have a data region here. Static variable is there and global variable is there. What is that? You already know now. You already know, right? In the code region, your code is there here. वही तो है ना, डेटा रीजन कहाँ पर है, स्टैटिक मेमोरी है ना यार किसको पूछ रहा है यार, नीचे लिखा ना स्टैटिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन के अंदर कोड रीजन है, डेटा रीजन है। डेटा रीजन में है ना स्टैटिक वेरिएबल, स्टैक में तो नहीं है ना, तो क्या दिक्कत है आपको? स्टैटिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन ही है वो उसको, है ना दीपांकर, है ना। चलो चलो जल्दी दिमाग मैप कर लो, सब कुछ तो सामने दिख रहा है। मैपिंग, मैपिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। पूछना नहीं, देख लो सब कुछ सही है, वहां पर है सब कुछ। चलो आगे चलते गाइस। नाउ व्हाट इज दिस ब्लॉक साइज? What is this block size? So what malloc function is going to do, it's going to create the block. It's not going to create the many elements, remember that. It's going to create like one block. You tell me how much size you want. How much size you want? You want size of int, size of char, or size of array? It's your decision. Size of structure? The block can be anything in the world. Anything in the world I'm talking about. A block size can be integer size, can be character size, can be array size, array of integers or whatever it is, can be structure size. It is your size, your choice. Everybody, it is your choice. If you want to create integer size, then say size of int. If you want to say character size, say size of char. If you want to say array size, then tell me what array you want to deal with that. Clear? That block you decide. And pointer that you are pointing, you should understand why do you want to deal with that block. Everybody? Now, what is the malloc? Malloc function reserves a block of heap memory, specified size. You specify how much size. I will deal with that. You can specify, size of int. That means I understood I am just dealing with one integer. You can specify size of char. No, I want 10 characters. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. How? 10 multiply with size of character, or simply 10. I want to deal with 20 float variables. Yes, I can do that. Size of float. Yes. If you don't write float star, character, integer, by default it returns a void pointer. You can assign to any kind of pointer. Everybody clear this point? It is your choice. Do you want one date size of int, or you want 10 integers? It is all your choices, because it is a heap memory. Dynamically at runtime you want to create, you want to allocate and deallocate. So allocation is your choice. Now, what is one? It can be assigned to any pointer. And what is the default value in the block? It is by default, the value is the garbage. Whatever you create this memory, by default, if you don't assign anything, by default garbage is there, because you have not initialized. Something is there already that you don't understand. Yes, everybody, by default the garbage data exists inside the block. So now let's highlights of this malloc. Highlights. Malloc function, it allocates a block, that's all. It allocates a block of any specified size. So size we have to mention here. And return type is any. It's a void type, basically void star. A return of malloc is actually address. It returns address. What happens here? It returns address of block, which is first byte, basically address of the block. And by default, what do you have? Garbage data exists. Garbage data. Fine. Now let's look at, to understand this malloc. Yes, Lavjit. It can be any. Now, that's what the same malloc is used for anything, right? Now look at, I'm just trying to tell you one thing. Creating array with 5 integers, dynamically I want to do that. Because static array, normal array, what is the problem, guys? If you have int a of 5, you can't change the size. You can't change it. But now if you deal with dynamically, this 5, I can enter from outside also. You can create a variable and enter the n value 5, then 5 integers, 10 integers. So you can make it flexible. Everybody? But I am trying to help you how to achieve that. How to achieve that 5 integers I want. So 5 you can take internally or externally. That means you can use a keyboard to enter that value 5. So now what happens? malloc is going to create the 5 integers. This is the 5 integer space. Basically 5 into 2, either 10 or 20 bytes. So I'm assuming integer size is, let's say, 2 bytes. Then this will become 5 into 2, 10 bytes block. It's a block, not 10 integers. It's not 10 integers. You have created 10 integers. You want 5 integers. You want 5 integers. So we have created 10 bytes. Now, how do we know that 5 integers are there inside? That's a pointer. A is a pointer. It's going to handle because it is an integer pointer. It knows that, okay, I can access, because we are taking the help of a. Now we are going to use this a as an array. You know that pointer can be used like an array, right? A of 0 means it's going to point to it's actually one block, guys. It is inside. You can treat like 5 integers. First, it's point to first integer, a of 0. You know that it's a of 1. It is a of 2. You can do that. Without incrementing, you can access that. Yes or no? So when you do a of 0, it will access the first element, a of 1, second, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4. So you can assign the values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Everybody? Everyone? So now you can print all of them one by one. And this a of I is going to help us to access every integer data. Clear? I'm started just now explaining. Come on, Harsh, what do you want to explain? God knows. Now, what's happening? I means it's just variable I, you want to use it. That's not a problem. A is a pointer that we have done. And A, what's happening here? This malloc function creates, let's say, 10 bytes and returns address of the block. Address. That address, let's say, the first address is, let's say, 1000. Then 1000 will be stored. And you have done typecasting. Actually, it is not required. It is not required, but still you have done. This is optional. Even you can delete it. Works. Because A is already integer pointer. There is no problem with that. Everybody? Now A is going to hold. Now A of 0 means you are trying to say star A is equal 10. And it's going to store 10. When you say A of 1, star A plus 1 is equal 20. So it automatically goes to the next integer space and it stores 20. And star A plus 2, similarly A of 3, A of 4, and this all 5 elements will be stored. Come on, quick. Everybody, it's a very easy, guys. I want to create my dynamic array. I made it. Everybody, basically in C language, static array only supported. Now I want to change the 5 to 10. I can do that. How? Outside I can ask instead of 5, I can keep here x and I can create one x variable. I can write a scanf, enter how many elements you want to create. It's over. Everybody. After that you want to change the size. Still you can do using realloc function. That's your choice. So much of flexibility using the heap memory. Only the thing is you must carefully use it, because once the use is over, you must use the function free of A. So A is actually holding the address of the block. So that A 1000 onwards you want to delete. Once the use is over, just write free of A. It deletes or deallocates the space. Space exists inside the system, but for user it is not accessible. Yeah. So you must carefully utilize this memory, otherwise after some time heap also can be full if you don't handle carefully. Yes. Let's move on to CAlloc. And CAlloc, MLOc both are allocations only. And C basically refers contiguous. You can see that contiguous, that is also contiguous, but there was one block, here contiguous blocks. And first difference between MLOc and CAlloc, this creates one block and this creates consecutive n blocks. That is the difference. Contiguous, you can say. Technical word, contiguous. Everybody guys? Yes. And MLOc, here one block has by default garbage value. Garbage data exists inside, but here by default 0 is a default value. This is the difference between MLOc, CAlloc. Now here also it's a void type. Everything is similar, but two parameters are there. Here number of blocks you need to mention, and this one you need to mention what is the size of each block. So two arguments you need to pass. How many blocks you want to create and what is the size of each block. So contiguously blocks are created one after other, like just like an array. Just like an array, guys. But array is of all integers. Here array it can be structure, it can be arrays, it can be anything you can achieve with this. Okay, now let's look at an example to understand the same thing quickly. Now look at, I want to create an array with 5 integers only. Previously you did just 5 into size of int. Now 5 specifies 5 blocks. That block you want to treat as an integer, it's your choice. You want to create a structure, it is your choice, right? It's your choice. And here you need to mention the size of each block. It exactly looks like block is an integer, 5 integers and size of integer you mentioned. In MLOc, you just said MLOc only one parameter 5 into size of int, because you can't tell the system the 5 blocks. So one block with 10 bytes, assume that. Here 5 blocks where each block is 2 bytes. Look at the difference. Anyhow, the pointer is there to access both of them. The pointer knows that it is going to access 2 bytes at a time. So pointer has no problem at all. Whether you use MLOc or CAlloc, the pointer helps you to access remaining portion. Look, did you see that? Exactly same. Remaining portion exactly same. Only difference is it creates 5 blocks now. 5 blocks now. Initially it keeps 0. Now this is the block. Here 5 blocks. Each block is an integer for you. The advantage of the CAlloc, here you will have 0 by default, but both are equivalent. Only difference is MLOc keeps the garbage data and it creates a one block, and CAlloc creates the contiguous blocks. Everybody, it depends on your choices. How do you want to create the heap region? This is a heap now. So 5 contiguous blocks will be created. 5 contiguous blocks are created here. इससे पहले क्या हुआ था? इससे पहले 1 block, ये पूरा एक block, this is 1 block. 1 block is created, that's all. आपको यूज करना था 5 integers, यूज कर सकते हैं ना. 2 bytes लेकर pointer तो point कर रहा है, pointer knows it is pointing to 1 integer only, so pointer is going to help you. Right, there is no difference between MLOc, CAlloc. in terms of accessing memory, only that while creating the memory, they have the difference. The malloc creates whole size as a block, and calloc creates 5 contiguous blocks. It's a block by block it is going to create. Great. Okay. Yeah, free is the pointer. Why free is required? To avoid the memory leaks. If you don't use a free, there is a chance of losing that memory, and there is no way to there is no way to deallocate later on. So if you want to avoid memory leaks, you want to use that heap memory as much as possible, you make a free once it is over. In Java, there is a garbage collector. Once the use is over, it automatically makes a free, because program is already written. So based on the program, it can analyze the garbage. It can analyze. Yes. Contiguous. Why heap is there? Contiguous memory is there in heap. What is that? Devraj. Always you need operating system support. Guys, those people who are managing the heap, and there is a very difficult is operating system has to work a lot. OS works a lot on this, because you keep on creating and you are deallocating, and operating system maintains a table to do the compact, you do moving, swapping, all these things. Table. Suppose this is a 1000 address, this is a 2000 address, beginning 3000, let's say 3500. So it maintains a table from 1000. Okay, from 1000, let's say 1000 bytes. Okay, here 1000 bytes, I have the space occupied, the address and size. Wait guys. Okay, all right. The size of block or size of heap. If we are using calloc, malloc size of block, and from 2000, okay, I have created 1000 bytes, and here also 1000 bytes, and 3000, I have created 500 bytes, 3500, let's say 20 bytes only. 3500, so 20 bytes, because of it is going to create a table, allocation table. And now when you delete it, it's going to make sorry, not this one, 3000, it's going to create this entry, because it's a free. Now there is a free pool. The free pool is there. Here, okay, 2000 onwards, I have the space 1000 bytes. And this is operating system is going to manage. So you are not going to manage. Whenever you make a free, then its operating system is going to collect. And when somebody asks 1000 bytes, it can allocate at this place. But if you ask more than 1000, it has to do compaction if it is not available. Static memory allocation, there is no free. Static word itself, nobody can make a free. Only program terminated, it will make free. You are not going to make a free. That is a static word. The size is fixed, nobody can change, right? Static memory is required before execution. It's decided already. You are not going to make a free. All right. Chalo, bahut ho gaya. Memory leaks. Memory leaks can be avoided with the help of free, and memory allocated on heap should always be freed when no longer needed. This is very important. What you have to mention when you say previous example, when I say free 2000 P, I say, let's say P holds 2000, then what happens? From 2000 it's going to be deleted, it will be added to the free table, free pool table. This is allocation table, another one free pool. So whenever it is freed, the allocation table deletes that entry, and that entry will be added to the free pool. If somebody wants that much size, then operating system can grant this 1000 bytes. Yes. Clear everyone? Chalo, यही बता रहा हूँ. Okay, let's move on to realloc. A realloc, if you want to change the size, that you have allocated five integers first. Now I want for 10 integers. Yes, I can do realloc. Suppose I have done like this. malloc. Initially I did for 5 into size of int. But after some time, I changed my mind. P. Now typecasting I'm not doing. After some time I want to change. What I do? Realloc. And I need to mention from which address. Yes, P address. The new size दे दो उसको. कितना दे दो? अब बताओ. 10 into चाहिए. So 10 into size of int. Over. So it will be modified. Even 5 I can make the 2 integer size. You can do that. Instead of 10 I can make even 1, 2, 3 sizes also. Everybody, so you can decrease or increase the size of the already allocated memory, right? So mostly the people use for increasing. So you can modify the you can increase or decrease existing heap memory, which was allocated by calloc and malloc. Yes. Yeah. Everyone, when you increase this size, remember, when you increase the size, be careful how much size you want to increase. Yeah. Anybody you can change the type size. P no need to write. You can write a Q if you want. P no need to write. You can write your own pointer. From P onwards I want to change. Now Q can point to the new one. The P no more use. You want to do that? You can do that. It's your choice. You can do typecasting to anybody. Doesn't matter. This is your choice. Okay. Those people who want, but in the exam they don't ask you to write a program, so we don't face much difficulty. Now let's look at, this was the previous year gate question. Previous year, and M is equal to malloc. 5 bytes will be pointing 5 bytes block pointing by M pointer, and M we are assigning null. तुरंत क्या किया? Null assign किया. You lost that 5 bytes. What is that called as? A memory leak. In between freed, memory is not freed. So definitely that memory lost. It means memory leak. Everyone, that is last memory. X is matching with the last memory. Now second one, let's see. Free of n. And n को free कर दिया, मतलब जो heap memory था पहले उसको free कर दिया. Free करने के बाद you are trying to store the data in the heap memory. Will it be? Already that is deleted from user space. This is called as dangling pointer. इससे पहले n2 value is equal 5 valid था, अभी dangling reference होता है, इसको बोलते हैं dangling dereference. Everybody? Yeah. So y is 1 exactly. Not 3 to 1, 3 1. Next, char star p. P तो initialize नहीं किया. P not initialized. अब star p पे जा रहा है. कहाँ जाएगा? Wild pointer. Z is a wild pointer. Yes. All these points are already discussed, guys. In the previous sessions, I have already discussed this. But that time, dynamic memory allocation, we were not aware. First time we are looking at it, but still you understood the point? Yes. Come on. Okay, let's move to another question. Which of the following is true? And PTR is equal to CLOC of M comma N. मतलब यहाँ पर M blocks are there and N is the size. Each block has N size, N bytes. Each block has N bytes. This is what we have for the CLOC. And is equivalent to the following notation, whatever it is. PTR is equal to, come on, quick. Is this correct? M multiply with N. Is that correct? Yes, that is how we did. Yes, it looks like true. Let's look at others. But the only one difference, that is CAlloc by default 0 is initialized. That is missing. Sizes are same. 0 is initialized by default. तो इसको करने के लिए एक स्टेटमेंट चाहिए S. नॉर्थ साउथ डैंगलिंग का डेफिनेशन पकड़ लो पहले. इससे पहले ही एक्सप्लेन किया पॉइंटर के अंदर. वहां जाके एक बार पढ़ के फिर वापस आ जाओ. व्हाट इज द डैंगलिंग पॉइंटर? एवरीबॉडी गाइस, व्हाट इज द डैंगलिंग पॉइंटर गाइस? इफ n के अंदर कुछ एड्रेस है, ये फ्री कर दिया. ये एड्रेस जो पॉइंट कर रहा था इसको डीएलोकेट हो गया ना, ये फ्री हो गया ना, ये फ्री हो गया ना, फ्री ऑफ n. उसके बाद n2 वैल्यू कर रहा है, रहेगा इसके अंदर. यू आर ट्राइंग टू स्टोर द डेटा 5 हियर. कैन यू डू दैट नाउ? दिस इज ऑलरेडी डिलीटेड. तो डिलीटेड मेमोरी यू आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सेस, उसको बोलते हैं डैंगलिंग पॉइंटर. समझ लो यार बात को. ओके, now this is almost true. Only difference is almost true. Malloc has garbage data. Malloc memory creation has garbage. CAlloc has the 0. Now this memory set, this is available in string.h guys. What it does is, you give the address, from there mention the size, it is going to set 0. Sets 0 as a value in memory. Now this is what missing in the above, right? This is exactly true. Exactly. B is answer. That was missing in the above one. In C, you are mentioning M. We don't choose the C and D because M into N we need it. So out of A and B, A was almost true, but only difference is the malloc creates the garbage value and CAlloc creates a 0 by default. You want to match it, first create using malloc and set using 0. And now together is exactly matching with what CAlloc does. Okay? Great. Yeah. And those people who are asking the questions, what is wild pointer, what is danger pointer, this all are discussed in the previous. This is discussed in the pointers guys. You have absent, please go and watch one topic, pointers and arrays. I have discussed all the problems with the pointers. Please go and watch pointers, especially for who is that? Yeah, Chanpreet and north south to east, and these people, they are directly attending the classes without attending the previous class. Definitely you will face the difficulty, no doubt. Okay, next one, quick. Now you have attended the previous classes. This is also easy guys. This is a heap memory. इसका नाम नहीं रहता, सिर्फ pointer can handle that memory. And इसके बाद P you have assign null, तो इसको हटाकर आप null assign किया तो क्या होगा? और उसके बाद free P कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं होता. No problem at all, no problem. The 0 address is not going to free, but anyhow P is equal null. What happened now? Memory lost. You directly assigned P with null, and this memory exists. It is not freed, but no use. But no one can use now. No one can use because no one has its address. It's called as memory leak. Everyone, it's called as memory leak guys. It's called as memory leak. No, it's okay. Free of null, nothing happens in the system. Free of null is allowed. The system ignores this function call. Free is going to be executed successfully only when it has an address. Remember that. There is no problem with free of null. Dangling pointer happens when you are trying to access the memory which was already freed. When you are trying to access a memory which is already deleted. which is already destroyed. And memory leak, the previous memory was lost because of your assigning new address to the P, and P lost that previous address and nobody has that previous address, so we lost the previous memory. Yes. So OS will never recover during the execution because in the memory allocation that address forever exists till the program termination. Yes. Garbage collector is not there, Sandeep. That is what C language, in C concept there is no garbage collector. Everybody? Yeah. And today in this class we have understood structures, union and dynamic memory allocation. And there are many things to discuss in the world, but as per we promised, we will complete every concept which is required for GATE and in detail along with the practice, and we are doing a lot of practice in the class. At the same time we are also having other practice sessions, and after the complete subject you will have every time a practice session, and along with that whenever required we are conducting already practice sessions. Practice session or revision session or long marathon definitely there, and by this time we have completed all the important concepts of C programming, and now it is a time to practice the difficulty part or hard part of the C programming that we will do tomorrow. Everybody, so tomorrow session, everybody knows tomorrow session. What is tomorrow session? 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. 6 hours. What I am going to cover? Most of the GATE questions. Everybody? Yeah. Memory set is a function. What it is going to do, just look at it. You provide the address, what value you want. If you put a 1 there, it will put a 1 everywhere. So you want to initialize 0 and you mention the memory address. That is a memory size here. Size. Right? From that address, it is going to initialize 0. How much size you want to initialize? That total memory, the total size. So this is a memory set function. This is not there in the std_lib.h. It is there in the string.h. Even strings also you can use this concept. Even strings also. Yeah. Okay guys. Tomorrow we are going to begin theory of computation. Yes. Tomorrow we are going to start the next subject. Theory of computation is going to begin, TOC, which will begin tomorrow guys. Same timing we will meet. What is our timing? 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Sorry, 12, no, right. 9 to, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So tomorrow we will see TOC. So here change is going to happen from tomorrow. C language is going to be TOC from tomorrow, 9th January onwards. Slight change here, 9th January onwards. Yes. And after this we have class at 11:30 a.m. at maths. At 11:30 we have maths, and at 2:30 we have computer organization. And please follow me to access the free classes on Unacademy. Today I don't have any free classes on Unacademy, but I share the links whenever I plan, guys. And this is our Telegram channel. Please subscribe to this Unacademy GATE CS, and also share all our YouTube channels with your friends if you are enjoying our sessions. Right, sharing is the caring, you know that. And please like the session, don't forget about it. And in case you want to take the subscription, you want to prepare seriously, then use my referral code DEVALIVE and let me know that once you join Unacademy, I will help you to prepare for GATE exam. I will help you to crack the GATE exam, right? So if you believe me that, use DEVALIVE referral code, and really I am going to help you to crack the exam. And share these videos with your friends and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for joining every class, and if you have any doubts, I'm always there to clear you.